Even though this thing was 4 hours long, I watched it as soon as it came out. But I didn't drop my review because I had mixed emotions. I'm glad I waited, but now I'm ready to talk about it. So Justice League Snyder cut? No, this ain't quite right. DC a little darker. I feel like I need to set the tone. That's much better. So the Justice League Snyder cut is the original version to the 2017 Justice League movie that we got, but something happened right at the end of the shooting with Zack Snyder's family. A tragedy happened and he was pulled away from the film, so they brought in another director and he was chopping up a 4-hour movie into a 2-hour runtime, which ended up being a disaster that we got. Now, I personally was excited to get the Snyder cut, even though it is 4 hours, which is an incredibly long time, even for a movie fan like myself, because I felt that with having such a long run time, it'll pull a lot of viewers away that probably would have watched it if it, trimmed down to 320, somewhere in that nature. But upon watching it, I have to say I was pleased by the runtime, because there were some parts that felt like they could have been cut out, but overall we got the backstory to the original movie that we felt we missed in the 2017 one. With it being 4 hours, they were able to spend a lot more time with each character individually to try to give us that backstory, since we didn't really get all the origin stories like we typically do in the Marvel movies. Now, even though I enjoyed them giving us more backstory, I have to say maybe the origin stories of a couple of the characters would have served the movie a little bit better, because even though I got more backstory, I still didn't find myself connecting to Cyborg or Barry Allen, and Flash is one of my favorite superheroes in the DC universe. Like, the characters just weren't as charismatic, and that's another thing that I said in the beginning I was kind of on the fence about, because the DC movies are dark because the DC universe is dark, but then they would try to take the Marvel route and try to make the characters more memorable by making them more humorous and more likable, and that was kind of conflicted with me, because if we're going to do a dark, mature setting, then give me dark, mature characters. Now, I understand you can have 1 or 2 jokes in there, or the clown, I guess you could say, but they were trying to do it too often, and it just gave me Marvel vibes, which was one of the things I didn't appreciate about this. Another thing I liked about this long runtime is that it actually shed more light on Steppenwolf, because when we heard that he was going to be the villain, it's like, who is Steppenwolf? Like, come on. And then you hear in the Snyder cut there's going to be Darkseid, so you get excited about that, but they show you Steppenwolf's character and show that he's fallen from grace and he's just working his ass off to get back into Darkseid's good graces, and through doing that they gave us a very memorable character, in my opinion, and he actually was a great villain in this movie. The visuals in this movie were hit and miss. The miss part was, again, like I just spoke on Steppenwolf, sometimes the CGI looked very CGI-ish, if you understand what I mean. But on the flip side, I did like how they made the action seem so powerful, where like Wonder Woman's fighting regular people and they're moving at regular speed, and she just zoom and knocks him into a wall that creates a crater, or Steppenwolf just picking up a grown man like he was a stress ball and throwing him through a wall. I like seeing that the superheroes looked super. So I think the visuals overall were great, even though they missed in a couple of areas. I normally start off by talking about the acting. And if you've seen the 2017 Justice League, then you've seen how the acting is in this one. You just get a little bit more backstory with each character, and honestly, you get more chances to show that your acting chops aren't quite there. Cyborg. So I don't want to speak on that too long, because I mean, there's not really much to say there. I don't like Ben Affleck as Batman. He does okay. Gal Gadot is a wonderful Wonder Woman, even though that 1984 one was trash. I forgot the guy who plays Superman, but he looks like Superman. Is his acting chops there? I'm gonna leave that up to you. Barry Allen has potential as Flash. I mean, his character has a little bit of likability to him, but they'd have to give him a movie to expand on that. And Cyborg, I just didn't like him. They made him like this hard, macho dude, but really he was just a hurt little boy on the inside who was pissed off at his dad. And even though I've touched on the runtime throughout this whole review, the runtime of this wasn't bad, because the first half of the movie is so much more info that we wished we got in the 2017 movie, that you're engaged, you're locked in, at least I was. And then the second half of the movie is the build up to the action, so you go from being well informed to the pace picking up in the fight, and even though the jokes get a little more in the second half, but that's neither here nor there. So even though it's a 4-hour film, it's actually timed well with the information that you get versus what they gave us in the past. But to sum it up, I'd say Justice League Snyder's cut was a very enjoyable watch. The runtime is crazy long, but you can break it up because the movie's shot in parts. The action is fulfilling, the visuals are good, the acting is pretty good, but the story makes up for that. So with all that being said, I definitely have to give this movie movie magic must see. Good job, Zack Snyder. I feel like you have personally saved the DC universe because these movies have been garbage and you gave me some hope with this one, so kudos to you. Alright, so that's it for this one, folks. So for the comment convo today, I want you to let me know, what did you think about the Zack Snyder cut? Did you like it? Are you going to watch it, or is it too long? Whatever you think, comment below and let me know. Now, as always, if you liked this video and you thought it rocked, like, comment, and subscribe to see more from me, Mike Proc. Later.